Morning Drive on YouTube is brought to you by Cintas.
Hello and welcome to Morning Drive on YouTube. Coming into Studio AP and join me, Anna Whiteley, alongside Damon Hack as we talk all things Masters on the eve of the 84th playing of the Masters tournament. We've also got Robert Dameron in the house alongside Paige McKenzie. And let's dive into some Rory McIlroy, shall we? Because he's always the talk of the town when it comes to the Masters. And one of the biggest storylines coming into this week is, of course, the full-time major champ Rory McIlroy attempting to join Tiger Woods, Jack Nicklaus, Gary Player, Ben Hogan and Gene Sarazen as the sixth man in history to win all four major championships. It will be his sixth attempt to complete the slam here at Augusta National. Now, looking at his results so far in 11 career starts in the Masters, Rory's best finish is fourth in 2015. Before he won his first career major, McIlroy took a 4-shot lead into the final round of the 2011 Masters before a final round 80 left him tied for 15th. So, Robert Dameron, I'm going to kick it off with you on this one. What do you think? Is this Rory's best chance to win the Masters, given the November course conditions, the lack of patrons, and the general sort of extra attention given to DeChambeau instead of Rory this week?
Yeah, it's his best chance until the next one. Traditionally, yes, a longer golf course would suit Rory more. He's the best driver of the ball, really, over the last several years. But there's a new kid in town also with the driver, and that's Bryson. So is coming in under the radar going to help him? Let's face it. I mean, he should be the biggest storyline. This is a career Grand Slam. It would be the sixth to do so, but we've got a November Masters. That's a bigger storyline. Bryson, of course. Tiger Woods defending, of course, is a bigger story. So coming in under the radar where he doesn't feel the pressure on him right on the first tee, the same way he did at Royal Portrush in the Open when he made a quad on the first hole and missed the cut. Maybe that will bode well for his chances at getting a green jacket finally.
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of ingredients this year that are so different that maybe the circumstances that didn't lead to his success early are now gone. I don't know how much of the pressure on Rory is internal and how much is external. Anna, you made a great point earlier in saying that the fans, even though it may not be to his advantage to have them there, he actually feeds off of them and has outwardly spoken about that. And I always considered it, maybe it's great that the patrons are not on site, but he has talked about how vacant it feels without them there. So I don't know. I think it's a little bit more of a toss-up than I originally thought for Rory McIlroy in November.
Rory McIlroy plays for the big game. He plays for the big titles. And as well as saying perhaps he really feeds off those fans and he would feed off the patrons, that he needs to win the big events because that's what his career is now driven about. And I don't know whether it necessarily does revolve around winning the Masters and winning the career Grand Slam, but that's certainly a priority for him. But this year will be different. November is completely different and it's a different mindset. Do you believe it is his best chance? It's
his best chance because it's his next chance. Rory McIlroy will always have a puncher's chance, at least for the next decade or so. He's 31 years of age. And I will say this, were the fans an asset or a detriment at Royal Portrush? He says he gets energy from the fans. I think he wanted it too badly because of the fans at Royal Portrush in the Open Championship. Listen, he's come at this green jacket in many different ways, thinking about it, not thinking about it, talking about it, not talking about it. In this November Masters, what does he have? No patrons, attention on Bryson, attention on Tiger, a new daughter, a different mindset. The knowledge that he's won in Georgia in the fall before. 2 FedEx Cup titles, 2 hours, 15 minutes, depending on traffic, away from Augusta over at East Lake Golf Club. I think Rory, because of who he is, the way he's talking, his perspective on life, this is a wonderful opportunity for him. He doesn't need the patrons there. He knows what time it is this week.
One thing that we heard Rory talk about yesterday when he faced the press at Augusta National was someone asked him what he believes makes successful people successful, and he said grit. And when you break that down, it's perseverance, it's persistence, it's that dogged determination to not give up on your dreams. But for Rory, this is his dream, but it might not happen for Rory, and he's accepted that. How important is it to take the pressure off his shoulders to accept that actually the Grand Slam may not happen?
I don't think he always knew that his life would be maybe different if he didn't win a green jacket. He feels, at least he's verbalizing, and I believe him, he's been in our studio, been very honest, that his life's not going to change that much whether he wins a green jacket or not. Does he want one? Of course. Is this an opportunity to be the greatest European golfer of all time? Yes, it is. He wouldn't be where he is in this game if he didn't have an ego, if he didn't care about winning the big titles, as you say. He knows what's at stake. The biggest asset in his favor, I think, is perspective, lived perspective. Having been the guy who thinks it's cool to have Michael Jordan's cell phone number in your phone. He's beyond that. He's talked about that. That's not what's important to him right now. It's important to have a balanced life and also to say, you know what, the life experiences that I've had on and off the golf course make me as well prepared for this test as he could possibly be.
Robert, Rory wants to rise to the occasions more than anyone does out there. You know, his career is all about building up those major titles, you know, as well as the PGA Tour events. But, you know, majors are very important to him. When you look at what he's done so far this year, he was on phenomenal form coming back before the COVID break, a string of 7 top 5s. Coming back since then, he's only had 2 top 20 finishes in 12 starts now. So it hasn't been the Rory that we knew at the beginning of 2020. Is the form that you've seen from him over the last few months the kind of form that will create the opportunity to give him a green jacket this week?
I would have said no. I think the circumstances of a Masters and your Rory are always going to, you know, bring the best out of him. I would have said no, but his last tournament, Zozo, he made 29 birdies. Yet he tied for 17th, which means he messed up a whole lot. If you're able to make 29 birdies, you're playing great.
Yeah.
And those mess-ups are just that. They were just probably lapse of concentration, up and down you didn't get because you know, easy up and down or a shot where you were too aggressive. But again, you make 29 birdies, you're doing a lot of things right. So it's not the finish that gives me hope. It's the amount of birdies, and because you're hitting some incredible shots to make 29
and he
birdies.
even actually spoke to that in his press conference, saying it's a lot easier to get rid of the bogeys than to create birdies. So
Sure.
he's got that going for him. The other thing, I just wanted to comment off of what Damon said, in that he does have comfort in who he is. He has this great perspective now. But is there complacency and contentment that goes along with that? Perhaps his edge was this seeking, this trying, this proving to himself or otherwise that created the success in the beginning. I think that's the question that we still have remaining to be answered in trying to capture a major championship kind of with this new at-peace Rory.
Well, this week will always be a very big week for Rory McIlroy as he seeks the career Grand Slam and his first green jacket. What a storyline it would be. You can stay with us here on YouTube. We will be back tomorrow for more Morning Drive on YouTube. So subscribe to the channel along with all of our other social media handles. But from Damon, Robert, Paige and I, it is goodbye from us and have a wonderful day.
Morning Drive on YouTube is brought to you by Cintas.